All right, and we're joining. Okay. Hi, Jake.
Hi, Jake. How are you? I'm JC's mom. I hope it's okay that I join the call. I just have a few questions about the company.
So, y'all, we are at the location where Shariah is having her first interview. And she is very nervous, y'all. I had to make the girl get out of the car. Like, I really did. And I told her it's going to be all right, you know. It's either yes or no, going on real calm. I know she's going to be nervous because it's her first job interview. But everything is all right. There's too many jobs around here that she can apply for or whatever like that. Lord, that girl is nervous. But anyway, so me and the girls are sitting in the car waiting on her because she was like, Mama, do not leave. And I'm like, okay, I'm not leaving. But I think she's going to be all right.
A new survey revealing that more Gen Zers are bringing their parents to job interviews. 77% admit they've had mom or dad tag along for an interview, while more than half say their parents have spoken to a hiring manager on their behalf. And check this out, 73% have their parents help them complete work assignments. Here to react, campus reform reporter Emily Sturge. Emily, my mom.
Okay, so I wanted to come back to these stats so we can look at them one by one. Let me know what you think in the comment section about these. So the first one, admitted to bringing a parent to a job interview. I'm curious to know how many of these people said yes to this, like their parents were in the car waiting for them. Because that's one thing that had, like in the beginning intro video I showed, if they're in the car waiting for you, okay, I can let you slide with that. But if you try to bring your parent into the actual office building for the interview with you, that's a whole nother level of helicopter parenting, insecure attachment, whatever you want to call it. 53% said parents spoke with their hiring manager on their behalf. That's, to me, is one of the more crazy ones. You mean to tell me that the person that might be your, well, the hiring manager is not usually the person that you report to, but nonetheless, you're having your parents stand in for you to speak to your hiring manager? To me, that's shocking. Parents helped complete work assignments, 73%. Now, this is like taking your homework from school, high school, and giving it to your parents and asking them to assist you with it. No, it's not like that at all. This is crazy. That's different. This is like you're a grown adult. You should be handling this yourself. Your parents should not be doing your work for you or helping you complete your work assignments. That's crazy. Not to mention you might be violating some company policies. And then lastly, regularly have a parent talk to their current manager. Again, this is just as crazy as the hiring. This is crazier actually than the hiring manager. It's one thing to talk to the hiring manager, which is already nuts, but to talk to your manager that you report to, your parent is going in and having a one-on-one with them, like it's parent-teacher day and you're in elementary school, absolute madness.
Emily, my mind's exploding when it comes to this story. I'm having trouble believing this is real because when I think of this report and I think of my generation, all those numbers would have been zero across the board.
Mine too.
So I guess my question to you is this really a thing among your peers?
I'm a member of Gen Z. I personally witnessed some of these behaviors among my peers, but it's not just me saying that. Another survey of over 700 hiring managers actually found that over half of them had witnessed these behaviors. Said that interviews that they had with Gen Zers, they found unprofessional behavior, they found lack of preparedness. So it's really hard to have sympathy for a generation that is really showing these behaviors in interviews. I mean, the reality is Gen Z is entering into a pretty tough job market. Just 12% of Gen Z leave school, graduate school with jobs secured, and then 60% of them remain unemployed after graduation. But like I said, it's hard to have sympathy for a generation that is showing these behaviors in job interviews, bringing their moms to interviews, having moms call hiring managers. I don't think that if you show those behaviors, you can expect to clock in on Monday.
But it begs a question.
Really quick, I wonder how much of this also is like, you ever heard of the Gen Z stare before? There's a thing going on where there's something called a Gen Z stare, where you'll be out and about, maybe at a restaurant or something like that, and you ask them a question and they don't respond to you. They just...
We're talking about the stare when anyone tries to have just a normal human interaction with you, like in the flesh, and you guys freeze the fuck up. I can't even count to you how many times I've tried to like say hi to like neighbors that are walking by that are like in their teens, and they just look at you like they just saw a ghost, and they're like, there's no way that interaction is real. And they keep fucking walking. It is this blank deer in the headlights stare that you guys have. And it's like, oh my God, is a real live person talking to me? Even if I hold the door for a Gen Zer, I get no thank you. I get no sort of interaction. They just look at the ground and then kind of look at me and like keep walking. I don't know if the pandemic really messed you guys up or if it's the iPads, but like we're talking about the lost look, the lights on, the no one's home look.
Maybe that's going on in interviews too. Maybe they're asking interview questions, and whenever they don't want to answer a question or they get stuck or stumped, either they have their parents there to help them answer the question for them, or they give you the Gen Z stare. Crazy.
Why? Why is this happening? Because it's not normal. It's not the way it has been done since the dawn of time. Why is this happening right now with this generation?
Gen Zers are still living at home with their parents due to things like high housing costs. And a 2023 poll actually revealed that 45% of 18 to 29-year-olds are still living at home. That's a level we haven't seen in this country since the Great Depression. So when you have parents helping you out with chores, making the financial decisions, actually handling all the decision making, it's not too shocking that when Gen Zers leave the home and go into the workplace, they expect some of that same treatment. And that's why we see so many Gen Zers still depending on parents, even when they're in the workplace.
Okay, but really quickly, did you guys notice how old those computers looked and the office looked? Was that like from the 1980s? Why'd they choose that clip instead of a more modern clip? Weird. Anyways, what she's saying sounds kind of rough because even if you live at home and you're an adult, let's say, okay, 18, you're still an adult, but we know at 18, some people are not there yet. Let's just say 22 to 29, right? Why are your parents still doing all these things for you? It's one thing to live at home because the housing prices are so high and you have a bunch of student loan debt and you can struggle to make it out on your own, or you can stay with your parents and help them, which you should be doing, and not being dead weight. But to have them still doing your laundry, cooking all your food, helping you with financial decisions, calling your hiring manager, it all sounds like failure to launch to me. This doesn't sound like a good situation. Now, some of it might be overblown, let's be honest. But if these numbers are correct, then we're in trouble.
Are parents somewhat to blame for not letting their kids fail?
You know, I think there's a parenting issue here. There's also an educational issue. I don't think parents are completely to blame. I think we also need to look at our college campuses and the coddling culture that's present there. And at the Leadership Institute's campus reform, I reported back when Trump won the election that universities like Georgetown University gave students milk and cookies and Legos and crayons to cope with the hard election results. Just this past spring, it was exam season at Indiana University. They gave students Care Bears and ice cream sundaes. So when universities are handing Generation Z ice cream sundaes and Care Bears, then they're leaving campuses. They have that mindset and they're taking it to the corporate world.
All I can think about when doing this segment, what if I let my mom and dad take on the D block coming up next? Like maybe sit next to Carly, anchoring the news, asking questions. She would love it. I don't know if the audience would, but maybe they will. We'll try it. Emily Sturge, thank you for...
Is she serious? I don't think she was joking, guys. I think she was serious when she said these college campuses were handing out Care Bears and candy and ice cream to grown adults in college, at major universities. It doesn't matter if it's major, at universities. Yeah, I think that, you know, I don't know what to call it. I just think that at some point there's going to be a reversion to the mean, because right now it just seems like things are so far in either extreme. It's so polarized in either extreme, whether it's right or left, blue or red. I don't know. In every way, in every area of life where there's a spectrum, people don't seem to be congregating in the middle anymore. It seems to be people choosing extremes. Now, this could just be online, let's be honest. It might just be an online thing, because in real life, I don't know if I notice it as much, but then again, how do I know someone walking down a grocery store pushing their cart, what their opinions and their beliefs are, right? But nonetheless, it does seem like things are very polarized. And I'm not saying the right is wrong or right, or the left is wrong or right, but we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to not coddle kids so much. And we're calling them kids, they're young adults. Handing out Care Bears and snacks and cartons of milk. I got cartons of milk when I was in like kindergarten. I don't need a carton of milk to cope with my stress and anxiety and sadness as a 22-year-old man or woman. It's crazy. Anyway, that being said, guys, let me know in the comment section what you think. If you think this is overblown, do you think this is real? Do you think this is just, is it fake news? What is it? Because to me, it's kind of madness. That being said, if you made this far in the video, I appreciate you. Feel free to give the video a like and subscribe if you feel so inclined. And until next time, make smart financial decisions. And this is not one of them.